According to the nationwide Missing and Unidentified Persons System, a national database for missing people, over 90,000 people are missing at any given time in the United States. The majority of these people are found, but sadly, some never have or never will be seen again. A location notorious for people going missing is the Mojave Desert, which lies largely in California and Nevada. Now, most of these are pretty self-explanatory, as Detective Holloway sums up. Some are crime related, but most people don't hydrate or prepare for the harsh elements. However, one that hasn't been explained and continues to be one of Nevada's most mysterious missing person cases to this day is the weird disappearance of Kenny Veach. Kenny was a 47-year-old Nevada resident who had been an avid hiker for over 20 years. On his expeditions into the desert wilderness, he claimed he didn't have a GPS gadget or even a compass, and that he would frequently enter caverns or caves alone. Kenny stated, "I have been doing this sort of thing for 20 years. I hike over mountaintop after mountaintop and sleep on peaks under the stars. Sometimes I have to scale giant cliffs to get myself out of a jam, but I always make it back." During those 20 years, he explored many different deserts, annoyed the local wildlife, and even got an airlift out of one area after injuring his leg. This brings us to the start of his mysterious story. In late 2014, Kenny left a comment on a video that would change his life forever. He left a comment on a YouTube video named "Son of an Area 51 Technician," and it was a comment about a hike he had been on in the Nevada desert where he discovered an M-shaped cave in which he entered. The comment read, "That ain't nothing. I am a long distance hiker. One time during one of my hikes out by Nellis Air Force Base, I found a hidden cave. The entrance to the cave was shaped like a perfect capital M. I always enter every cave I find, but as I began to enter this particular cave, my whole body began to vibrate. The closer I got to the cave entrance, the worse the vibrating became. Suddenly I became very scared and hightailed it out of there. That was one of the strangest things that has ever happened to me." The comment, which is no longer there, blew up, and people were intrigued. Comments prompted Kenny to relocate the cave again and film it for YouTube. Kenny agreed, and the journey to find M Cave again began. Remember that Kenny never used a GPS system? Well, he couldn't remember exactly where the cave was located. He believed the cave was towards Sheep Mountain, which is located south of Area 51. He set out to find the cave, carrying along with him a pistol for protection against whatever thing had previously caused his body to vibrate, and filming his journey for YouTube. His journey, however, was unsuccessful, and he could not relocate the cave. He stated, "I got back from a 10-hour hike yesterday. I completely searched the whole damn canyon. I could not relocate the cave. I found a tarantula, a tortoise, and a ram, but I could not find the cave. I don't know if you have ever climbed up and down a mountain for 10 hours, but it wore me out. All I got out of it was some nice photos and a bag full of nuts. This is the perfect time of year to find piñon nuts. Thanks for asking." People didn't believe Kenny, and he often argued with the comments and decided to upload the video of his 10-hour hike to YouTube.
And I'm looking for a cave that I found, and I didn't have a sidearm when I was here before, and something about that cave just spooked me. Out of all the caves I've ever gone in, this one just made my body vibrate. The closer I got to it, the crazier my body felt, and I was like, all right, I'm not going to go in there right now, but I'm coming back someday. And I talked to some people on YouTube, and I told them, hey, I'm coming out here, you know, because they kind of called my hand on it. So I don't know if there's going to be anything to it, but it might be interesting. If I can find it, I got to relocate it, and this is a big mountain range I'm in, and I'm on foot. You know, my truck's way out there. There's no roads, there's no trails. It's a pretty rough terrain. So hopefully I'll find it. It's shaped like a big M. It's a big cave that looks just like a gigantic M. And it's about as tall as I am and kind of narrow, and it's stuck on the side of a mountain. So I hope I can find it again. And if I do, I'm going in there. I'm gonna put on my light and take my gun out and walk in there, see if I find anything. We'll see. I'm gonna take the camera and show you how deep this hole is and kind of show you around real quick. So here we go.
One comment from a user named Lemmy Killmeister said to Kenny, "Do not go back there. If you find the cave entrance, do not go in. If you do, you won't get out." Kenny asked what makes you say that, but the comment never replied. This didn't deter Kenny though. He was desperate to find M Cave and prove the doubters wrong. He claimed, "I'm going again this weekend. I will be hiking solo for 3 days. I plan on covering about 40 miles. I will cross through the same canyon where I found the cave. If I don't find it again, I will just continue hiking over the mountain after mountain to the north of the canyon. I dare any of these people like that to run their mouths on here and join me. My hikes are brutal on the body. After one of my long hikes, some of my toenails turn black and fall off. I lose about 13 pounds of body weight, and it takes me about 3 days to recover from all the abuse that I put myself through. But I love every minute of it. There is no guarantee that I will find the cave again. The region that I cover is vast. There are many caves, and I have been in hundreds of them. But M Cave is the only cave I ever feared going inside. I want to find it again." So, that weekend, he packed his bag for an overnight trip and left the Mojave Desert on the 10th of November 2014. Kenny was never seen again. After he failed to return home, his girlfriend and family reported him missing to the Las Vegas police, and the search began. Veach's whereabouts were traced back to a location showed in the M Cave hike video. They discovered his phone on November the 22nd near an old mine shaft that he had previously visited. The police sent a camera down the mine shaft in hopes that they would find Kenny, but they were unsuccessful. After searching the area for a few more days, they had no leads and Veach was never found. After the internet found out about Kenny's disappearance, the case exploded, leading to a few theories of what happened. The first theory was that Kenny died of natural causes in the wilderness. Due to Kenny not using GPS, many believed he got lost, became disoriented and died of exhaustion and dehydration. But if this were the case, searchers most likely would have found him. Animal assaults and foul play are suggested by other theorists. Some speculate that he was bitten by a rattlesnake or attacked by a mountain lion, but this is disputed because we know Kenny went out there with a gun, and an incident like that would have left apparent indications according to authorities. The third and more outlandish theory is that Kenny was assassinated by the government. Because of where the cave was apparently located near Nellis Air Force and Area 51, people believe the M Cave Kenny discovered was an entrance to some sort of top secret government installation. They believe that the vibrations that he noticed as he approached were a protection system designed to keep humans out. Think of that what you will. The fourth, and in my opinion the most likely theory, was actually from Kenny's girlfriend himself, who believed that he committed suicide. He left a comment on one of his videos stating, "I am the girlfriend that Kenny spoke of in this video. There are so many posts. I have no idea until a friend let me know. So many people are wondering what happened and guessing a few different things. You are heartfelt about the sadness around what has happened with Kenny. He has not been found, and I feel that he probably will never be found for many, many months, if ever. I want to share what I know and feel about what happened, so that this might bring some closure and understanding in your own lives." Kenny absolutely loved hiking in the desert. It was his very, very favourite thing to do. We hiked and camped together all over Nevada desert, sometimes 9 hours in a day. We found many abandoned mining towns, usually referred to ghost towns. We explored many caves and mine shafts. We were always careful about how we explored them, but Kenny was a bit more daring than I was. We wore snake guards, some protected clothing, and used walking sticks, brought enough water and food for the hiking hours, and had extra water and food in the car. We took wonderful pictures of all sorts of things we saw: rusted cars, old fallen down buildings, cemeteries, mines, wild animals, tarantulas, scorpions, trees, cacti, and flowers. Our deserts are beautiful if you have a love for deserts. They are not spooky or scary, but you do have to be careful of the terrain and of course bring enough water and food. We always were excited when we saw desert wildlife, like the bighorn sheep in the video. They are stunningly beautiful to see in person in our desert. We would stand quietly still to watch them as long as possible. I was so very excited to see one he filmed in his video. I want you to know that I do not think Kenny had an accident. I believe he committed suicide. He battled depression for many years and would not take medication or see a doctor. He quit his job little more than a year before he disappeared. He wanted to see if he could sell his inventions and do what he called cowboy interior design for homes. He bought his first home 5 years ago and had an amazing ability of decorating in this style. He was not successful in getting a business going and was running out of money after a year of not working. He no longer wanted to work in a job for someone else, and his money decreased. He became more and more depressed. He really did not look for another job. In early October, with seeing his depression increase, I said to him, "You aren't going to pull a Robin Williams on me, are you?" This is when he opened up more about his depression and his thoughts much of his life about suicide. His father committed suicide when Kenny was in his early 20s. When I asked him the question, he answered me with, "If I decide to do it, you will be okay. You are good at the law of allowing." He asked me what I would think of him. He also said that if he did do it, no one will ever find me. It would be easy to do something like this in the desert, with a number of natural caves and mines. He could hike many miles in a day, so there are no telling where or how far he could have hiked during his 3-day, 2-night solo hike. When he did not call me after the 3rd day of being gone, I called missing persons. The search for him was started within a couple of days of my call. Over 30 search and rescue team members searched 3 different times on foot. 1 helicopter flyover was done, but there was no trace of Kenny, or any of his camping things. They found his car in the area where I told them it would be. They did find his cell phone by the mine shaft in the video. The mine shaft was about a 4-hour hike from his car. It is my feeling that he left it behind so he could not be tracked by any form of GPS. He also did not take his video camera with him on this solo hike. It was left in his home, so he had no intention of filming anything. I share with you this for 2 reasons. First, so that you have more of an understanding of who Kenny was and bring some piece of understanding to the situation. Secondly, if any of you do decide to go out in the search of M Cave, be careful and bring enough water and food. Walking sticks are a good idea and not doing a solo hike. Bring a GPS and make sure that you have family and friends that know where you're heading and where you will be returning. I had many wonderful experiences with Kenny and will always remember them and have a place of love in my heart for him and the wonderful things that we did together. I am healing from my loss and look forward to new experiences with desert hiking, camping and taking beautiful pictures of our desert. Enjoy your adventures of life and thank you for the kind comments sent my way. Other theories include Kenny faking his own death, being abducted by a UFO, or being a victim of crime, but most likely we will never know what happened to Kenny. His body to this day has not been found. A YouTuber known as Exploring Abandoned Mines and Unusual Places believes that he did find M Cave, but many believe that this wasn't the right cave, as it was very easy to find, didn't have the door, and was very deep. Personally, I believe Kenny probably committed suicide. I believe this because he didn't bring his camera to film M Cave if he did find it, which was his goal, but I guess I'll never know. Leave a comment below on what you think happened to Kenny, and if you believe he will ever be found. Thanks for watching.
Well, I did not find the cave. That is so weird. I mean, I thought for sure I was just gonna be able to find it. I remember it being fairly easy. Who knows? But I am at the mouth of the canyon. There, I'm just now coming out. And now I have to take a big left-hand turn and walk all the way back to my truck, which is a long, hard trip because I've got a lot of up and down to do. And that's it. I'll talk to you when I get back to my truck. Bye-bye.